Hello and welcome to Child Development. This video will introduce you to the structure of our course so that you know what to expect throughout the semester. You have all experienced your own childhood and may have watched your own or other people's children grow as well. And my hope is that by the end of the course, you'll be able to see and interpret these results, these experiences through a scientific lens. I also hope that you will learn to use the scientific method and to evaluate information in child development and psychology in general. And in general, we'll cover about 2 topics per week, which answer questions like what drives child development and how do we learn about it. For each topic, you're going to read a chapter in your textbook and watch any additional videos or articles on Moodle. And then once you feel like you have a good grasp of the material, you'll participate in the chapter activity. Most of these will be submitted via discussion forum on Moodle, and you'll be asked to apply what you've learned in the readings to new or relevant examples. And once you've done the reading or activity for each topic, then you'll take a weekly test. So I am going to show you what our Moodle page looks like. And this is our Moodle page. It's organized by week, but this first section here will cover all of the basics that you need throughout the course. So you'll want to check back with this frequently. If you have questions, I've got a question and answer forum here. I encourage you to ask questions or answer questions here, and I'll give you extra credit for participating in this forum, either through asking or answering questions. After that, everything's organized by week. I want to make sure that you read the syllabus very carefully. So we're going to go through it together, but you should also review it on your own. I've got my contact information here. Email is the best way to contact me, and I'll respond to emails within 24 hours during the week. But be aware that I don't respond to emails on weekends or outside of business hours. So please make sure to look at all of the assignments and start doing the work ahead of time so that you have time to contact me if you have questions. I also have office hours via Zoom, and I'm willing to meet outside of those hours as well if you just email me with your availability. The syllabus also has our course description and basic goals. The goal is to really help you have a knowledge of some of the basics of child development, understand the scientific method and how it helps us understand child development, and identify some of the factors that influence development. We have a textbook that's really essential to presenting a lot of the course content, so make sure that you get it. But in addition, there's also several readings or short 2 to 3 minute videos that you can find on Moodle that serve as examples of what the book is discussing. This class is entirely online, so it is essential that you have the internet, and you'll also need your iPad or some other device to connect. Just a note that I recommend using an internet browser and not the Moodle app on your iPad. The app has a number of accessibility issues. I've got information about connecting to me via email or Zoom, and I'll also be sending reminders via the Remind app. So I strongly suggest that you use those. I also recommend getting Microsoft Office. If you don't have it already, you have access to 3 free versions of it. Also, an important reminder that in a typical face-to-face full semester course, you'd spend about 3 hours per week in class, plus at least an hour out of class for each hour in class, doing readings and assignments and prep work and things like that. This works out to about 90 hours on the class over the course of the semester. During a condensed block, we're cramming these 90 hours into 70 weeks, which means that you should plan to spend about 10 to 12 hours per week on the course. In order to succeed in this online format, there's a couple additional things that you need to keep in mind. Make sure to stay on top of the material, read the readings, look at the notes, watch the videos early so you have time to go back if you need to. Do all of the assignments. The assignments are designed to help you understand the material, so make sure you do them for your own benefit. And then finally, ask questions if you have them. You can email me or use the help forums. In terms of course evaluation, there's a mandatory syllabus quiz that happens in the first week. And then after that, 40% of your class grade is assignments, which are mostly discussion forums. You'll need to post an initial response to the discussion questions for the week by Sunday at 11:55 p.m. This gives your time peers to read your post and respond to it. Your forum post should be 250 to 400 words, which is approximately 1 to 2 pages double-spaced. And many of the prompts have multiple questions, so you should be sure to answer all of them. I would encourage you to draft your initial response in Word or another word processing program to make sure that you've met the requirements and to give you time to thoroughly proofread and avoid the potential of lost posts if something goes wrong when you try to actually post it. By Tuesdays at 11:55 p.m., you will need to respond to at least 2 of your classmates' posts. So these should be substantive responses going beyond just I agree. Late posts won't be accepted, and I've got a grading rubric right here. Next, 40% of your grade will be tests. You'll have 7 tests, 1 per week, which assess the content from the book as well as the videos and any other resources that I post on Moodle. The tests are all multiple choice and are due on Tuesdays at 11:55 p.m. Finally, 20% of your grade will be your final paper. In your paper, you're going to scientifically evaluate a piece of advice for parents from books, popular media, or the internet. You'll need to select one source for parenting or teaching. You can also do teaching advice. So think things like breastfeeding or attachment parenting or sleep. And so you're going to need to find a popular media source for this and find related psychological literature to critically evaluate your source. I'll provide more details throughout the semester, and you'll have components due throughout the block. You should also be sure to familiarize yourself with all of the class policies and procedures, so take the time to go back and read this document carefully. Going back to our Moodle page, the second really important document is this course schedule here. And it looks like this. I've got it broken down by week, and this basically parallels what you need to do on Moodle. It tells you what you need to do every single week, and I encourage you to print this off or save it and check off the items as you've finished. So for the first week, you have a forum that you need to introduce yourself to everyone and a syllabus quiz to make sure that you've read the syllabus and understand the criteria. Once you've done those things, you can check them off. Then we're going to jump right into chapter 1. So you can see the first week is laid out here. I'm actually going to go back to Moodle so you can see what it looks like on there. So again, here is the Introduce Yourself forum and the syllabus quiz. Then we're going to start on chapter 1, which is an introduction. So you've got to read the chapter. I've got a PowerPoint and several short video examples for you to watch. You're going to do a discussion forum post. In the discussion forum, I'm going to ask you to use the scientific method, which you've just learned about, to design a study assessing the effects of spanking on children. So like all of your other discussion forum posts, it's due on Sunday. On Monday, this infographic is actually going to become visible to you. And so you can take a look at it once you propose your own study, take a look at what the actual evidence shows, use that to guide your responses to other people's proposed parenting strategies. So you've got 2 responses that are due on Tuesday. We'll also cover chapter 2 this week. So again, we got about 2 chapters per week. Again, there's a PowerPoint, a few videos. I've got a short extra reading that relates, and then you have a discussion forum assignment. So for this assignment, it's to select a person who exhibited aggressive behavior and summarize their life, considering the roles of genes versus the environment. Again, your initial post on this is due on Sunday, and then responses are due on Tuesday. The last thing is you do have a chapter test, which covers both chapters 1 and chapters 2 and is due on Tuesday night at 11:55. So that's the basic structure of how the class will work. If you have any questions, please contact me via email, and I look forward to hearing from you and reading your instructions in the Introduce Yourself forum. One last point is that I do want to note that I realize that we are living in pretty unusual and unprecedented times. If you're sick or caring for someone who's sick or are affected by the pandemic in some way, please talk to me about making accommodations. I am willing to work with you. So I look forward to learning about your experiences and working with you throughout the course. And this is one of my favorite topics to teach, so I think it should be a fun class.